Okay, imagine this. You're squished onto a bus. It's bumpy. You're just trying to kill like 5 minutes scrolling on your phone.
Yep, and there.
And suddenly, bam, this amazing visual hits you. A dragon, like a proper dragon, lunging at some hero dude on a misty mountaintop. Super high octane stuff.
Right.
The whole thing. Maybe 30 seconds. And before you've even thought, wow, nice CGI, you're already tapping next for another hit just like it.
Ah, right. We're not talking movie trailers here, are we? This is something else.
Exactly. This is the world of microdramas. These tiny, addictive sagas,
Yeah.
romance, revenge, ancient myths. They are absolutely exploding in China right now.
And that's where our deep dive lands today.
Yeah.
Because the really wild part, the thing we need to unpack is how artificial intelligence isn't just helping make these things. Increasingly, AI is the creator.
Right. Let's get into that straight away, because this isn't some small indie trend. This feels like a huge shift in how we consume stuff, the sheer speed of it.
It absolutely is. Think visual stories, perfectly designed for short attention spans. And they're already giving traditional movies a run for their money in China. You've got, what, over 830 million people watching these? Yeah. Often on platforms like Douyin, the TikTok, basically.
The scale is just staggering. And the money. You said this industry could hit over $9.4 billion this year.
That's the projection.
Yeah.
Billion with a B. It's not just growth. It's like an algorithmic gold rush. So our mission today is to figure out how AI became the engine driving this and what it means, for creators everywhere.
Okay, so the mechanics.
Yeah.
How is AI pulling this off? There's this innovator in Beijing, Chen Kun. He basically said AI might not make like the perfect Hollywood film yet,
Right, not Spielberg level.
but it totally nails what these microdramas need. And that's not Oscar polish, it's speed, spectacle, and
It's-
just tons of it.
That's the crucial insight, isn't it? Speed has become its own kind of quality. It's about hitting that emotional button fast,
Yeah.
like people who only have a minute. Take that series, Strange Mirror of Mountains and Seas. Total fantasy romp. Ancient Chinese myths, snake creatures, moody heroes, betrayals. The works. It pulled in over 50 million views.
50 million. Wow.
And get this, it's almost entirely generated by AI. The script ideas, the visuals, the faces, even the booming soundtrack.
That's kind of mind-blowing. So Chen Kun's platform, AI Pie, you feed it text prompts and it spits out this.
Pretty much. It generates the look, the feel, the sound. But here's the interesting bit, the paradox you mentioned earlier. The audience. They seem totally fine with the fact that it's not always perfect.
What do you mean not perfect?
Well, maybe the lip sync is a tiny bit off, or a character's eyes blink a little too slowly, things like that. There's another hit, Nine-Tailed Fox Demon Falls in Love with Me.
Yeah.
Classic shapeshifter romance.
Right.
It was huge on social media, and viewers just shrugged off the glitches. They're watching on their phones, maybe on a lunch break. The vibe, the speed, the story hook, that's what matters, not
Yeah.
whether every pixel is logically perfect.
So the emotional hit is so fast and strong, your brain just doesn't stop to nitpick the details. It's pure escapism delivered like an IV drip.
Exactly, velocity over consistency. So let's peek under the hood. What tech is actually doing this, like a sci-fi toolkit?
Lay it on me.
Okay, so for the plot twists, the cliffhangers, you're likely using something like ChatGPT to generate script ideas or outlines.
Makes sense. What about the visuals, those misty mountains?
For the static stuff, yeah, things like Mid-Journey, paints the scene, sets the mood, foggy peaks, ancient temples, that sort of thing.
But they move, right? The dragon lunges.
Ah, yes, that's where the video generation tech comes in. Specifically, things like China's own Kling model. It takes those static Mid-Journey images and breathes motion into them, turns them into actual video clips.
Okay, wow. So script, static visuals, then motion. What about sound?
You've got AI for that too. Platforms like Suno can whip up a custom soundtrack, haunting tunes, epic battle music, whatever fits the mood of that 30-second scene.
So where do the humans fit in? Are they just gone?
Not entirely, but their role shifts. They do the final polish, splicing the AI-generated scenes together, adding voiceovers maybe, making sure it fits that super short format. But the heavy lifting, the weeks of traditional production, that's compressed down to days.
Weeks to days. That ability to iterate, to react to what's trending instantly, must be a huge advantage.
It's everything. It's why it's a juggernaut.
But that speed, it changes the whole game, doesn't it? Which brings us to this idea of democratizing dreaming. If AI can do the heavy lifting, does that mean anyone can make a blockbuster now?
That's the argument. Odette Abadia, she teaches at the Shanghai Vancouver Film School. She calls this tech storytelling on steroids. Like Wild ideas meet instant wow factor.
Storytelling on steroids, I like that. And she's seeing this happen already.
Oh, yeah. It's not theoretical for her. Her students are already using these tools, like using Douyin to instantly create these photorealistic scenes, polar bears on a tundra, she mentioned, or using Alibaba's model Quen to map out a whole crime thriller plot for, say, a wedding photographer who gets mixed up in something dark.
So you don't need a huge studio or years of animation training. You just need the idea
Sure.
and the right prompts.
Exactly. Think about it. Your AI sidekick drafts a complex conspiracy plot in seconds. The barrier to entry just crashes down.
Yeah.
It's less about budget and technical skill, more about your concept, and, crucially, how well you can talk to the machine.
But which is Abadia's point, right? AI democratizes dreaming,
Yeah.
opens the floodgates for way more creators, way more content. But is it good content? Or just more? Does
Yeah.
accepting the slightly wonky eyes mean we're in a race to the bottom, quality-wise?
That's the core tension. Abadia herself adds a big caveat. She says the human spark, that creative intuition, is still vital. You need to blend the bots with actual human experience, maybe some real boots-on-the-ground filming to give it heart. Otherwise, yeah, it risks just being technically impressive noise.
But that human element, that heart, it's up against some serious economic momentum here. Let's just restate those numbers because they're wild.
They really are. From about $500 million in 2021
Which is already a lot.
to $7 billion last year. And growing. You've got over 100,000 companies jumping into this space now. They're feeding this massive audience hooked on getting their story fixed during their commuter lunch break.
When the money's that big and the AI makes production so cheap and fast, well, the old ways of doing things, weeks of storyboarding, expensive shoots, they start to look really slow and, frankly, outdated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads us straight to the really uncomfortable part. If the machine builds the world, what happens to the people who used to build it? This speed creates a collision course with, jobs, real people's livelihoods.
Yeah, the fear of displacement. It's not abstract. You talk to someone, Louis Liu, working on a set in Shanghai.
Yeah, a young guy, 27, working on a live-action microdrama set, dodging props in this huge warehouse. He talked about that initial wave of panic when the AI stuff started looking eerily real and dirt cheap, as he put it.
Eerily real and dirt cheap. That's
What?
chilling for someone on set.
You bet. He sees the writing on the wall, potentially. He specifically mentioned concept artists, the people who do those first sketches, setting the visual tone.
Yeah, the visionaries.
He said they're already being pushed out of the early stages. Why pay someone for a few sketches when an AI can generate thousands of visual concepts in minutes based on a prompt?
Oof. And this isn't just a China thing, is it? This echoes what we saw in Hollywood.
Directly.
Right.
Remember the writer and actor strikes in 2023? A lot of that was about AI. Then you had that debut of Tilly Norwood, the so-called AI actress, pitch for audition.
Right, I remember the uproar. SAG-AFTRA was furious.
Called it a devaluing stunt, basically erasing human craft and experience. So the same anxiety just playing out globally. Hyper-efficient tech versus the value we place on human creativity and labor.
So is it all doom and gloom for creatives, or is there another side? Chen Kun, the AI platform guy, he seems more optimistic.
He is. He pushes back against the mass layoff narrative. His argument is that while some jobs might vanish, new ones are opening up. Specifically, he talks about prompt engineers.
Prompt engineers. Okay, unpack that. What is that?
Think of them as word wizards for AI. Their skill isn't drawing the picture or writing the scene anymore. It's crafting the perfect, incredibly precise text instructions, the prompts, to get exactly the result you want from the AI.
So it's like being a super specific director, but your actor is the algorithm.
Kind of, yeah. It demands language mastery, understanding the nuances of how the AI thinks, knowing your subject matter. It's the creative brief evolved for the machine age. Less physical craft, more linguistic and conceptual skill.
Interesting. So a shift in skills, not necessarily total replacement, but there's still that huge elephant in the room, right? Copyright data.
The thorniest tangle of all. If these AIs are creating, what are they learning from? Whose work did they ingest to get so good? Artists worldwide are furious because these models were trained on vast amounts of their art, photos, films, often without permission or payment.
So the very tools displacing artists were potentially built on their stolen work.
That's the accusation. And it's a powerful one. It ties the job losses and the data ethics together. Chen Kun, interestingly, sort of agrees up to a point. He thinks the big companies that built the foundational AI models, yeah, they probably owe royalties to the artists whose data they used.
But not him, not the people using the tools.
He draws a line there. Says essentially, we're just users, we're not the culprits. He sees himself as a consumer of the tech, not responsible for how it was trained.
Hmm, convenient,
Yeah,
but legally complex, I imagine.
extremely. And here's the kicker. The real irony. Even the stuff made by AI isn't safe. Chen Kun himself is apparently in court right now
Why?
because some rival account just ripped off the trailer his AI generated, copied his AI monster mashup.
You're kidding. So AI is stealing from AI now, or rather, people are using AI to steal AI-generated content.
It seems so. The legal system is scrambling. How do you define ownership of something an AI created, especially if its training data was ethically murky to begin with? It's a complete mess.
Wow, the same tech enabling cheap creation also enables cheap copying. A digital Wild West.
Absolutely. And these microdramas, they're the perfect snapshot of this moment. They show us the future of content. Super fast, automated, addictive, built for clicks and short attention spans.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this for everyone listening. Entertainment is changing like incredibly fast. We're getting instant thrills cheaper than ever, but it's forcing this huge, maybe painful conversation about the whole creative process from the first idea to the final cut.
That tension between the spectacle we consume and the people who traditionally created, it's never been starker. These little phone-sized dramas prove algorithms can deliver that emotional rush quicker and cheaper than we ever thought possible.
So as you're scrolling tonight, maybe on that bumpy bus ride home, and you see one of these, a fox spirit, falling for a human, a hero battling a CGI beast, all born from algorithms. You've got a choice to make, really.
Hmm.
When you watch these amazing AI-generated stories, do you just cheer the spectacle, the speed, the sheer availability of it all? Or do you pause just for a second and maybe mourn the human craft that's getting pushed aside in the process?
It's a tough question. And the next hit, the next 30-second saga is always just one tap away.